Hey sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. 1934 Goudey is the follow-up to the popular 1933 release and carries over much of what made the original a hobby staple. Taking things to the next level, Lou Gehrig was brought on in an official capacity and is synonymous with the vintage set. While that is not enough to overcome the lack of Gehrig's more famous teammate Babe Ruth, the set still maintains a prominent place in the collecting world and features cards of 19 Hall of Famers. As the only player with 2 cards in the product, not to mention his face appearing on the bottom of 84 of the set's 96 cards, Lou Gehrig is the clear focus of 1934 Goudey. In addition to his image on most of the cards, Gehrig also adds his commentary for each featured player, including his own cards. While Gehrig covers players from both leagues with a blue color scheme, he's not the only player prominently featured in the set. The remaining 12 cards are all National League subjects and replace Gehrig with Chuck Klein, a Hall of Fame slugger who mainly played for the Philadelphia Phillies and Chicago Cubs. Klein's cards offer a red color scheme. The 1934 Goudey design is very familiar to collectors and considered by many to be more attractive than the 1933 set. The same design is also on display on the infamous Nap Lajoie card that showcases a 1934 Goudey front and a 1933 Goudey back. The 2 3/8 by 2 7/8 inches cards include an action or portrait player drawing with a colorful background in yellow, red, blue, light blue, green, purple, or blue-green. Various baseball diamond outlines can be seen in the background, along with in-action baseball player silhouettes. The player's name is featured at the top of the card, and the bottom employs a blue or red banner with a tagline that reads, "Lou Gehrig says," or "Chuck Klein says." Finally, a black and white photo is shown for either Gehrig or Klein. While the 1934 Goudey fronts showcase an updated look, the card backs are very similar to the 1933 design. Other than the notation at the top as the 1934 series, little is changed in one version. Instead of a basic bio with player stats, the information on the back is presented as a direct quote from either Lou Gehrig or Chuck Klein. Another version tweaks the layout a tad and adds a notation that references an arrangement with Christy Walsh, widely regarded as baseball's first agent. At just 96 cards, 1934 Goudey is a much more manageable set than its predecessor. Although there are no official short prints, the high numbers 73 to 96, are noticeably more difficult to locate. Because this applies to none of the key cards and only one Hall of Fame player, Kai Kyler, this is mostly an issue for set collectors. Hall of Fame cards always command interest among vintage sets, and there are several official rookie cards for these esteemed former players. The key card in this group is the rookie card for Hank Greenberg. In this video, I'm going to show the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1934 Goudey set based on their PSA 3 values. I'll also give the values of those cards in higher grades, as well as the population count of those grades. Now, as a side note, because some cards have very low population counts, the values in some grades might not reflect current prices, since it may be a year or two or even more since a copy in that grade has sold. Now, before I get to the top 10, here are the cards that just missed the top 10. At number 15, the red Rolf card. At number 14, the Luke Appling card. At number 13, the Leo DeRocher card. At number 12, the Paul Wainer card. And at number 11, the Carl Hubble card. So, which cards made the top 10 list? Let's go find out. Coming in at number 10, we have the Charlie Garinger card. In the PSA 3, there have been 58 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $204. There have been 65 copies graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $412. There have been 53 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $591. There have been 37 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $558. There have been 32 graded APSA 7. They sell for around $1,335. There have been 19 graded APSA 8. They sell for around $2,031. And there have been 5 graded APSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in December of 2022 through REA and sold for $27,600. And there has not been a PSA 10 copy of the Charlie Garinger card. At number 9, we have the Bill Terry card. In a PSA 3, there have been 54 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $218. There have been 70 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $255. There's also been 70 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $394. There have been 42 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $418. There have been 33 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $432. There have been 23 graded a PSA 8. The last PSA 8 sale took place in April of 2023 through REA and sold for $930. Now, there has been one graded a PSA 9, but there has not been a reported PSA 9 sale in VCP's database. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Bill Terry card. At number 8, we have the Mickey Cochran card. In a PSA 3, there have been 49 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $218. There have been 73 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $319. There have been 44 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $408. There have been 19 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $453. There have been 15 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $645. There have been 11 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $2,570. And there have been 7 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in May of 2023 through eBay and sold for $15,750. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Mickey Cochran card. At number 7, we have the Kai Kyler card. In a PSA 3, there have been 33 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $273. There have been 31 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $337. There have been 27 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $334. There have been 23 graded a PSA 6. The last sale was for $250. There have been 20 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $1,250. There have been 29 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $1,140. There have been 3 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in July of 2020 through Heritage and sold for $12,600. And there has not been a PSA 10 copy of the Kai Kyler card. At number 6, we have the Lefty Grove card. In a PSA 3, there have been 80 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $541. There have been 78 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $645. There have been 61 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $955. There have been 42 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $1,680. There have been 27 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $2,750. There have been 25 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $4,556. There have been 5 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in December of 2022 through Memory Lane and sold for $30,463. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Lefty Grove card. At number 5, We have the Jimmy Fox card. In a PSA 3, there have been 70 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $690. There's also been 70 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $1,661. There have been 66 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $1,580. There have been 28 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $2,520. There have been 14 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $4,320. There have been 17 graded a PSA 8. The last PSA 8 sale took place in February of 2024 through Heritage and sold for $22,800. Now, there has been one copy graded a PSA 9, but there's been no reported PSA 9 sales in VCP's database. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Jimmy Fox card. At number 4, we have the Dizzy Dean card. In a PSA 3, there have been 76 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $738. There have been 102 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $1,140. There have been 62 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $1,890. There have been 43 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $2,340. There have been 26 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $4,200. There have been 22 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $8,677. There have been 3 graded a PSA 9. The only PSA 9 sale in VCP's database took place in December of 2004 through SCP auctions and sold for $12,650. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Dizzy Dean card. At number 3, we have the Hank Greenberg card. In PSA 3, there have been 69 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $1,799. There have been 85 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $2,315. There have been 77 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $4,002. There have been 46 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $2,861. There have been 31 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $6,600. There have been 27 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $25,500. There have been 3 graded a PSA 9. They sell for around $184,736. And there has been 1 PSA 10 graded copy of the Hank Greenberg card. The only recorded sale of that PSA 10 card in VCP's database took place in December of 2006 through Mastro and sold for $79,069. At number 2, we have the first of 2 Lou Gehrig cards. This one is card number 61. In a PSA 3, there have been 93 graded copies with the current VCP average price of $3,883. There have been 113 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $5,929. There have been 85 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $9,600. There have been 51 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $12,865. There have been 38 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $29,724. There have been 35 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $107,848. There have been 4 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in April of 2006 through Mastro and sold for $57,903. And there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Lou Gehrig card number 61. And the most valuable card from the 1934 Goudey set is the second Lou Gehrig card, card number 37. In my opinion, one of the top 10 most beautiful cards ever produced. In a PSA 3, there have been 157 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $5,639. There have been 128 graded a PSA 4. They sell for around $6,639. There have been 90 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $12,050. There have been 41 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $18,000. There have been 33 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $24,871. There have been 32 graded a PSA 8. The last PSA 8 sale took place in May of 2023 through PWCC and sold for $99,000. Now, there had been 3 graded a PSA 9, but there have been no reported PSA 9 sales in VCP's database, and there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Lou Gehrig card number 37. Well, there you go, the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1934 Goudey set. As always, would love to know in the comments what you think about the 1934 Goudey set and the cards that made the top 10 list. And stay tuned for next week's episode in which I take a look at the 1935 Goudey set. And if you've missed either of the last 2 videos in this series, you can check them out right here. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.